one business gap you find these days, and maybe that is a good opportunity to get for any entrepreneur or business enthusiast?
Honestly, there are no business gaps or idea gaps in the world. I'll give you a reason about this. You must have seen the recent 1/8 World launch by Virat Kohli, right? He's literally launching shoes. Is there a idea gap or a business gap for the shoe market? No, right? Like there is Adidas, Nike, Puma, New Balance, Comet, so many of these other players. But why is he still doing it? It's not because he's seeing an idea gap or a business gap over there, but it's more about, okay, can the execution be done differently?
Right.
Can the building of the brand or the brand persona and the relationship between the customer and the brand can it be done differently? Nike and New Balance and all of these ASICs have a very high aspirational kind of things that makes you not feel part of their story. But when you are part of, let's say, wearing the 1/8 shoe, you would feel like, oh, I am part of Virat Kohli's journey and Virat Kohli's story. So I think it's more on the executional gap that somebody should really think about rather than the idea gap. Because honestly, like, idea gaps cannot exist anymore, because if I search the same thing on GPT that give me 10 problem statements in Pune today that I can build a business on, I have 10 crores rupees and I want to build a business in this, it will give me the same kind of answers that it will give to you. Maybe my prompt would be different, so one or two options might be different, but the actual data that it will use from all the registries of business documentation or business incorporation world and also the marketing world would give you the same answers. The prompt of this would be readily available on Twitter or Reddit, anywhere.
So you mean to say that there is nothing called idea gap, there is always positioning gap?
I would say there is always executional gap.
Not positioning gap.
Not positioning
like
gap.
One, it is
Yeah.
positioning itself as a Indian first premium brand.
Correct. And it's
Sports
going with the story that cricket never had that kind of like a lifestyle
Legacy
kind
brand.
of legacy brand, whereas tennis has that. When you
Right.
go to Wimbledon, like Wimbledon is happening right now, when you go to Wimbledon, people have a certain attire and like the dress code that they will wear, and it has its own personality. The game has its own fashion.
Right.
But cricket never had its own fashion. The fashion that the cricketers are wearing are those expensive Balenciaga shirts or those LV bags and those glasses and those Philip watches and all of those kind of things. But is that the massy grassroots story? People really want to like be able to like afford the shoe, but at the same time also feel premium about it and feel part of the story. So I think that's what 1/8 really is, and that's the executional gap that they found. It's not an idea gap. Like there are many shoe brands already out there in the market
Got it.
which are like great shoe products. You wear a Nike or a New Balance, you will never feel uncomfortable in it.
But there is no association
Exactly.
with the product.
I have so many shoes, but I feel most precious right now about the 1/8 shoe only,
Yeah.
because like that's where I feel like I'm part of the story.
You like the logo of it?
Not really. Could have been better, but
Yeah.
I know making a logo is a lot more about, like where all it will fit, how do you like
But
do
when
the
you see
placement.
this swoosh of Nike, it feels you different. It feels like right. You are right. As a person, you are
Yeah.
right. So the minimalistic thing about Nike is altogether what makes it different.
See, this is also decades of bias in our memory, right? Like because we have grown up seeing Nike and the advertisements and the brilliance of
But
Nike
this
branding.
I'm saying when I compare it with Adidas. Adidas also feels great. But when you
Yeah.
compare Nike with Adidas, you feel something, the minimalistic makes it, the minimalistic factor makes it more appealing about it.
Yeah, no doubt. Like Nike has a better brand positioning than the others, but I still feel like all of these are again very subjective.
Yeah, that is bias.
Calls, right? Like
Biasness.
me as a consumer of a particular product and also of, let's say, marketing of the world, I have very different views that I would like really like look at the product like. But the majority of Indian audience is not like that. They are okay just having the fanciness that, oh, I own a 1/8 shoe.
Yeah.
Or, I own this Virat Kohli's first launch shoe. And they are okay, they feel pride in that, which is great for them. But for me, it was like, oh no, I need to like wear these shoes and see, okay, how they are in the performance. Do I feel comfortable in that or not? And all of those kind of things. But I don't think so majority of the audience in India is like that.